The internet moves fast, but every once in a while, a story spreads faster than everything else. This was one of them. A one-person billion-dollar company. No developers, no marketing team, no customer support. Just AI replacing entire departments. Code written instantly. Ads launched automatically. Customer service handled at scale. It feels like something out of the future. And for a moment, it made people believe the future was already here. But this didn't go viral just because it was impressive. It went viral because of what it implies. If one person can do this, what happens to everyone else? What happens to teams, to companies, to entire industries built around specialized roles? It creates two reactions at the same time: fear and excitement. Fear that you're replaceable, excitement that maybe you don't need anyone anymore. And that combination is what makes a story unstoppable. But underneath all of that, Medvi didn't start with AI. It started with a market, a very specific one. Weight loss drugs, massive demand, limited supply, and a pricing gap big enough to drive a business through. Instead of inventing something new, Medvi focused on distribution, making access faster, simpler, more direct. That's what allowed it to scale so quickly. Not just technology, but timing. Now here's where the story begins to shift. Because Medvi looks like a one-person company, but it isn't. Not really. Behind the scenes, there's an entire system supporting it. Doctors handling prescriptions, platforms managing compliance, logistics networks fulfilling orders, external infrastructure doing the heavy lifting. Medvi doesn't replace that system, it sits on top of it, and that changes everything. So where does AI come in? Not where most people think. AI didn't replace the business, it accelerated it. It handled marketing execution, ad testing, customer interaction, front-end development. It compressed time. What used to take teams now takes hours. What used to take weeks now happens instantly. But the complexity, that didn't disappear, it just moved somewhere else. And this is the part most people miss. There's a difference between building a company and building on top of one. Medvi didn't create everything from scratch. It leveraged existing systems, existing infrastructure, existing networks, and used AI to connect and scale them faster than anyone else. That's not less impressive, but it's very different from the story people are telling. Because when a story spreads faster than reality, things start to break. As Medvi grew, concerns started to surface: regulatory warnings, questions about prescriptions, allegations around marketing practices, even reports of doctors wanting to distance themselves from the platform. Because this isn't just software, it's healthcare. And healthcare doesn't scale the same way code does. But by that point, it almost didn't matter, because the narrative had already taken over. One tweet becomes a headline becomes a trend becomes truth. And once people believe something, it spreads faster than any correction ever could. The story becomes bigger than the details. So what is Medvi actually proving? Not that one person can do everything, but that one person can orchestrate everything. That's the shift. You don't need to own the system. You just need to understand it, where the gaps are, where the leverage is, and how to move faster than everyone else inside it. This is what the new playbook looks like. Find a market with demand. Use existing infrastructure instead of building your own. Apply AI to compress execution, control distribution, scale aggressively. That's it. Simple, but not easy. Because the hardest part isn't the tools. It's seeing the opportunity before everyone else does. The idea of a one-person billion-dollar company isn't a lie. It's just incomplete. Because no one builds alone anymore. They build on layers, systems on systems, tools on tools, and the people who win in this new era aren't the ones doing everything themselves. They're the ones who understand exactly what not to build at all.